know if you've seen, but the HBCU world is in shambles with the infamous primetime Deion Sanders, former head coach of Jackson State University's football team, leaving for a Power 5 school in Colorado. I am also an HBCU alum. I don't know if you can see my sweatshirt repping the UAPB, the Golden Alliance, here in Arkansas in a town called Pine Bluff, a place I love. If you are subscribed to this channel, you already know that. If you haven't subscribed, be sure to check out my video on Pine Bluff called The New Black Wall Street. As someone who loves HBCUs and wants to see them succeed and also understands the importance of upward mobility in our community, I think that there are some lessons that we can take from this departure, regardless of how we feel about it. So while Deion Sanders was at Jackson, Jackson was the talk of the nation. And I would like to see that for more of our HBCUs, right? I believe that HBCUs open the door for so many young African Americans. Our HBCUs are largely connected to the majority of the Black community. So as we are striving to see them win and see them grow, we're actually pulling the rest of the community along with them. I think one of the first things that we can learn from Deion Sanders and his time at Jackson is that marketing and media is key. This is one of the reasons why my husband and I, as well as my family, have started a media and marketing company here in Pine Bluff. Because a lot of times when we talk about changing the narrative of our communities and helping our spaces to rise again, it has a lot to do with exposure and narrative. Mr. Sanders knows how to stay relevant. That's why his nickname is Primetime. Apparently he was always the talk of the town when he was in the NFL. Not only was he a football player, but he was also a baseball player as well. He just knows how to stay relevant. And so because of that, wherever he goes is going to be a place that people want to look into, because he knows how to make a big deal about himself, right? Matter of fact, when he first started the job at Jackson, he made his entrance with the marching band. I think it's called the Sonic Boom in Jackson, and they are pretty good. He just brings the pomp and circumstance, and while some may say it's extra, it's enough to get the attention of the entire nation. And he also had an Aflac partnership. I think he still has it, but for him to be the coach at Jackson and still getting that media attention, that helped him recruit, that helped Jackson become a place where people really wanted to come and check out. You have to use media and you have to use marketing. You have to make people care. And sometimes our HBCUs rely so much on the historical significance, and as a community we rely on what people should care about and what they should do. But unfortunately, that's not going to cut it. You gotta keep it interesting for the people. And so that is something that Mr. Primetime definitely did. Okay, another thing that we can learn or remember from Deion Sanders is that talent makes the name. It is not the other way around, as we so often forget in our community. And if I must tell you how I feel about the situation, this is a point that does make me sad about Deion Sanders leaving. While I am extremely, happy for him as he continues to reach his goals, everybody is saying that he wants to coach in the NFL one day. And if this is going to take him one step closer to that, kudos. However, it was really, really exciting to see people start to understand that it does not matter what school people play at, because talent is talent. And people are going to see talent. They're going to follow talent. While Deion Sanders was at Jackson, him being one of the best football players to play his position, he was able to flip the #1 recruit for, I believe it was the 2021 class, Travis Hunter. He flipped him from Florida State University, which is Deion Sanders' alma mater, I believe, to Jackson State. And at the time, Jackson State was not, it didn't have that credibility yet. Deion Sanders was still building it up. And yet Travis took his talent there. And he still had that attention. He still can go anywhere he wants if he chooses to leave Jackson, because he is talented. And I was super excited to see more people start to potentially take their talents back to our spaces where we need them, generate more of that revenue for our community. Nonetheless, we still got to see that it is a true statement. Okay, the next thing we can learn from Deion Sanders, which is kind of related to the talent part, is that exposure follows results. Before Deion Sanders even went to Jackson, I was a huge advocate for young, talented Black athletes choosing HBCUs, as well as the talented Black academics, because being someone who has heard that argument that it doesn't prepare you for the real world, and going to an HBCU, I learned that that is not true. And it was really cool to see Deion Sanders show this to the entire world. Exposure is going to follow the results. You don't have to chase exposure. If you got it, you just got it. While Deion Sanders was at Jackson, he had College Game Day come and check out, I believe it was their homecoming, several celebrities. His son Shedeur had a partnership with Beats by Dre. He had a partnership with Tom Brady's athletic clothing line. Sanders helped the city of Jackson generate $16.2 million for businesses, compared to only $7.2 million in 2017. That's more than double, because he was getting results, because he brought the talent to the name, because he used marketing and media. You see the trend that we're seeing. And while Sanders definitely highlighted this for us, we've seen this work in other ways as well. The Southern Dancing Dolls has a new series on ESPN Plus or ESPNU. Very, very talented HBCU dance team. Some say the best. And Sierra, the singer and entertainer, also had a partnership with the Jackson J-Sets as well, because the J-Sets are also a very talented dance team. But shout out to the Golden Girls at UAPB as well. Okay, and the last thing that we can learn from Mr. Primetime is that we are all only human. There's no sense in trying to make any human this perfect hero or anything like that, because at the end of the day, even if Sanders really did truly believe that he was called by God, he is not God. So if he chose to leave, that just reminds us that we each have to do our own part and not put too much pressure on any one person. At the end of the day, people are going to look out for themselves and do what's in their personal best interest. So our best bet is to learn from them and the good that they have brought us, but at the same time remembering that we are all only human and we have to do for ourselves. Thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And until next time, guys, seek the kingdom and serve the community.